Hello everyone and welcome to Disha Learning. Today we will talk about the importance of job analysis. Most people do not understand how important job analysis is. They know what job analysis is, but to understand the importance of job analysis, it is necessary to clearly identify how job analysis is done, what the outcomes are, and how the outcomes are used to set up HRM systems within organizations. So let's talk about what job analysis is first, and then we'll look at the other aspects of job analysis. So, according to Gary Dessler, job analysis is the procedure through which you determine the duties of the jobs you are analyzing and the characteristics of the people to hire for them. That means that you're looking at two aspects. You're looking at what is the job to be done, what are the different aspects of the various tasks, various duties, various responsibilities. And you are also looking at who is eligible to do the job. What is the qualification? What is the experience level? What are the physical and mental abilities required? So, all this is analyzed using a job analysis. So, job analysis can be seen as a data collection process, and this is usually done through questionnaires, surveys, interviews, observation. It can also be done by comparing with other companies in the industry which have similar jobs. Usually, you get consultants from outside to do the job analysis and put together this data. I will also share with you at the end of this video a website in which you'll find the job analysis data that is already collected and kept, which is used by HR managers and business owners for various purposes. And that is a free website. All right. So imagine you want to hire a gardener. You're a fairly rich person, you own a few acres of land. One of those acres of land you want to convert into a garden. So you decide that I want to hire a gardener. So before you identify a gardener, you do have to have clarity on the criteria that you are specifically looking for, the criteria based on which you will hire the gardener. So, what kind of gardener do you want? Well, ideally, you would want somebody with experience who is physically possibly fit because the work requires a lot of outdoor work, standing, walking, digging, lifting. You might also want somebody who is probably not too old or too young. Too young means they might not have the experience needed, or too old means they might not be able to do some of the activities. So there would be a age range, there would be a criteria for physical abilities, a criteria for mental abilities. You might also have qualifications for a gardener. Does a gardener need to have education? Little bit or a lot? Well, maybe you might decide that the gardener might want to have good education because they need to read, write, negotiate, use the computer, and it depends on your specific job situation, right? So, at the very least, a gardener possibly should be able to read and write because they should be able to read maybe a pesticide. They have instructions there. If it is written toxic, he should be able to read that instructions. If it is ingested, what to do. So all these are necessary aspects of his job. So basic um, education might be necessary for a gardener. What are other things that you will look for? So these are the criteria of data collection. First one is work activities. You will collect data on the type of activities that a gardener does. For example, a gardener does lawn mowing, weeding, cutting, pruning, all of those. So you will make a list of them. Then you would make a list of the human behaviors required. For example, some of the human behaviors would be negotiating, leading people, communicating, collaborating. So all of these also you would make a list of for a gardener. So the gardener might require some amounts of negotiating, some amount of leadership if there is a team under, yeah, and some aspects of communicating. Um, then physical activities like lifting weights, walking long distances, all those would also come in human behaviors. Then next is the machines, tools, and equipment. So a gardener will be using a spade, a lawnmower, possibly a shovel, fertilizers, spray machines. So the gardener should have experience on these and know how to operate them because that is an integral part of the job. For example, if you hire a software developer and the software developer does not know how to switch on a computer or code, then no, the software developer is of no use. Especially a software developer is usually of no use without a laptop or a computer provided to them. So the machines and tools are important, the types of machines used for specific jobs, and the ability to uh, use them and having skill levels in using them is important as well. The next is performance standards. What is it that you are expecting from the gardener? What are some performance standards you can give him or her? So the performance standards you might say are the bushes should not be above 4 feet. I should have a basket of apples every month of no less than 1 kilo. I need every week for the garden to be completely weeded and fertilizer to be sprayed. So I might give weekly checklists and tasks. I might give specific um, measurements for certain performance. So all this comes under the performance standards that are set. The next is the job context. Now, a gardener works possibly outdoors, and it might be a noisy environment, it might be hot, there might be some risk involved. So, all these need to be captured into the job context. For example, in job postings, you might see 25% travel, or this job requires 50% travel. You will be reporting to two supervisors, or you'll be handling a team of 6 people. So all these come under job context, right? So these are the key criteria of data collection: work activities, human behaviors, machine tools and equipments, performance standards, and job context. So once you have collected all this information, you have to now analyze that. Now, after you analyze that, you categorize it into two aspects. One is what is the actual job to be done, what are the responsibilities, what are the performance standards, and all those you can categorize into something called a job description. This will capture the tasks, the responsibilities, the performance standards, KPIs, etc. Then you have job specification, which talks about who is eligible to do the job. So, in terms of qualifications, physical abilities, mental capabilities, all these are captured in a job specification. Now, is there a use that you can see for a job description or a job specification in HR? Is it used for recruitment? Do you think this might be useful for recruitment? Definitely. This very data that you collect in job description and job specification, you will be posting on job boards so that somebody who is reading up about the job will understand what the job entails. Will that be used for performance management? Yes, for performance management too, because as we discussed earlier, the performance standards can be clearly identified from here. So, similarly, if you look at all the different HRM functions, for example, recruitment and selection, job specification and job description are very important in recruitment and selection because it allows you to identify the right candidate, and also if you have to put together criteria for selection, you can identify the criteria clearly from the job description and job specification. What about performance management? The KPIs are mentioned in the job description. So you can set up your performance management systems based on those. How about training and development? The competency levels are also clearly mentioned and specified in the job description as well as job specification. So you can set up your training and development goals based on that. Then compensation and rewards. Now, once the data is collected for job analysis and you look at the various jobs, you also evaluate the jobs or give a weightage for each of the jobs in the organization relative to each other based on its importance to the organizational goals. And jobs that are closest in importance to the organization goals in terms of crucial for achieving organization goals are seen as more valuable. So if you look at a CEO, the CEO does not do anything specifically, rather, they have meetings, they coordinate, they communicate, they give feedback, but they are not the ones going out into the field like a salesperson or sitting behind the desk like an accountant. No, but they're using the work of all these people. Right? But because it is more crucial to the organizational objectives, which is profit making, uh, achieving specific strategic goals, their jobs are given more value. So a CEO is typically paid many times more than a regular employee. Why? Because there are aspects of decision making, there are aspects of management that also need to be considered. So these are the types of information that you collect for job analysis. And like I mentioned earlier, we will discuss also the website that I talked about. So Ostarnet is a website, or onetonline.org is a website which already has data on major jobs that are there in United States. So this is used by HRM professionals as well as business owners extensively. So let's take a sample job, which is a sales manager. And if I search for a sales manager, I can find the list of jobs that are in the database under that heading. And let's take one of them, the sales manager position. So if you see here, you'll find that there is lots of information on the various aspects of this job. For example, the tasks, technology skills, knowledge, other skills, abilities, work activities, work context, etc. So this is a compiled database of all jobs in United States. Some jobs, newer jobs might not be there, but I'm hoping they will add it soon. But this is an excellent resource for any human resource management student or a teacher or a manager or a business owner. With that, we end the session today. We looked at the various aspects of job analysis, its importance, how we do a job analysis, the outcomes of job analysis, and we also looked at important resource we could use to refer to when we have to do job analysis in our own organizations. Thank you.